Hello, CSI Golden Eagles, and welcome to episode 53 of The Knowledge Nest. This is Reed Hepler, and I am opening here on the College of Southern Idaho Library website to show you that this is still the College of Southern Idaho, and I am going to be taking us to another website today, but this in no way diminishes the materials that we have in our collections. Our database that we use is EBSCO. We have EBSCO host databases, we have EBSCO discovery services, and EBSCO is very, very useful. And it is a very important way to find resources, and it is what we use when we look at our databases that we subscribe to, etc. This does not diminish that. I'm going to show you an AI-powered research tool called Semantic Scholar that navigates open access materials, including those on arXiv, on DOAJ, on DOAB, etc. It pulls information from all of those and uses AI to analyze them, connect them, and also connect them to public discourses about certain topics. And so we have no contract with EBSCO. EBSCO loves open access materials, and I just wanted to show us another open access research tool that we can use in tandem with EBSCO. And it is a little bit better, honestly, than our open access reading source that we have right now. This only offers materials from OER Commons and other things, but Semantic Scholar updates in real time, and it's really useful. It's very, very useful. I encourage, as I always do, you all to use critical thinking skills, the SIFT method, the CRAP test, when you are analyzing sources. Open access does not mean that even though it's accessible, that it's accurate and it is the most accepted research. A lot of open access materials, especially preprints, are just that. Preprints of academic papers that may or may not have been peer-reviewed and that are formative. So even if they are peer-reviewed, a lot of times they're groundbreaking research. If you look at arXiv, which is arxiv.org, a lot of those have not been peer-reviewed yet, and a lot of them are edited or redacted even. And so, again, use critical thinking skills for any open access materials. Some of them are reliable, but again, if you use critical thinking skills, you'll know which ones are more cutting edge and which ones are more entrenched in commonly known theory and pedagogy, etc. So with that being said, here is semanticscholar.org. So you have a standard search bar. You can search keywords and Boolean terms, but let's just click modernism and get right into the search process. And this kind of combines the old EBSCO interface with the new EBSCO interface. It's a standard database research result page. And you can narrow or sort them by things by relevant, citation count, if that matters to you, most influential papers, which is a combination of how much they've been cited and the H factor or H impact factor of the journal, or how recent it was published. And so you have elements of the SIFT method and the CRAP test here that you can sort by. You have various fields of study you can narrow things by. You have a date range. Let's go to the last 5 years to make things as accurate as possible, current as possible, And again, just because something is recent doesn't mean it's always authoritative. It just means that it's more recent. You can search by things that have a PDF, which most of them should. You can search things by the author, filter them, and then you can filter them by the publication. And we see here that the Sander Gallery has 2 publications about art, and it's an art gallery. And so this is a card. So let's click on this card, and we can see that this Sander Gallery has 2 publications, and you can look at things. And this is kind of the AI aspect of it, is that it found, hey, the Sander Gallery has 2 publications about this. Let's look at that and see what that is. Right here we have the citation information and when it was cited, publisher, etc. And we have things that are available as a PDF. And so we can look at the crisis of political modernism here. We have the corpus ID, the DOI. And on this results page, you have an access to the PDF, which we didn't see beforehand. save to the library. You can save it to your body of materials, citations, references, and then related papers. If something is in the news, you will also see a separate conversations or news articles about this paper, and it will see how the public is examining this paper. And again, that's AI powered. The tool scours the web for data about this and compiles links to pages that are talking about it. So what is the advantage of using Semantic Scholar instead of other academic search engines? So Semantic Scholar is a free and open access search and discovery tool. It's not, again, meant to replace the database, but it's a tool to help you filter through open access materials and understand exactly what they're talking about, what they're saying, and how they interact with each other. And they have different tutorials that you can check out if you want to. On the side here, sometimes, there is a tool that will let you talk to an AI chatbot, essentially, a chat tool, a large language model. It will analyze this paper, and it will let you find information about it in a conversational way rather than having to look through data yourself. Here's an article that I found, and then it took me to the Semantic Reader. If a result has a PDF designation and these little books, it means that it's available on the Semantic Reader. And so you can navigate the paper, you can download it, you can share it. But what's really important are these things right here: the skimming assist and the citation cards. One of the things that I find most time-consuming about lateral research, or finding claims or finding information about a publisher in another source, is that you have to navigate to different sources to find information in different sources. And of course, that means, in order to find the reliability of one paper, you have to do 3 or 4 different searches to understand if a source is reliable. Well, this attempts to make that process easier. These citation cards will show if a paper you were looking at has common citations to other papers that have been saved in your library, or if this paper is cited by papers that you have saved in your library. And eventually, it will show if it has common citations. I may have misspoken. This shows if a citation is to paper you have saved in your library, and this one shows if this paper is cited by papers in your library. So it shows how the paper interacts and engages in a dialogue with other papers. Of course, you're going to have to search for different information, maybe search the institution with which the author is affiliated, but if a paper is cited by other papers, it's a safe bet that it is a reliable paper. And I would encourage you also to look at that citation to see if it's a positive citation, a negative citation, a mere acknowledgement citation. The other tool we have here is the skimming assist. So the Semantic Reader analyzes the document, and it looks for the methodology, the goals of the authors, and then it also examines results. And obviously, these are scattered all over the place. However, it's a fairly thorough tool. Again, read through the paper, don't just read these things. But these elements, these annotations, can give you a starting point into what to focus on. What do you want to focus on? The methodology? Do you want to focus on the goals? You have that section of the paper highlighted, and then you read above, below it. And then you read, of course, the things that are cited in the section. So this should not be doing your research for you, but it should be helping you to have good critical thinking skills, good information literacy skills, and who knows, maybe you can do a report on this is what the semantic reader helped me find, and things like that. You could, similarly to citing AI conversations or providing links to those, you could provide a link somehow to these annotations by Semantic Reader or by Semantic Scholar. So I hope this episode was helpful, and I hope that I introduced you to information about a new tool you can use to access open access resources and information resources that is an AI-powered research tool. Thank you very much for viewing this episode, and I will see you next week here on the Knowledge Nest.